Well, I don't think we had a new Plymouth at that time, had we? But anyway, we were talking about getting a new car. And your dad said, well, we can dig the basement out, put a garage in the front of it, and we can have...
Better identify where this is again.
Oh, in 1436 North Garfield.
1934, 35.
Yeah. Well,
It's been 35. It's 34 we moved in late in the fall.
yeah. Well, it was kind of summertime when we moved in there. No, it wasn't. It was fall because it's when school after
This was
school
school
started.
starting, yeah.
And I said, ooh, that'll be a big job. And he said, yeah, it will be a big job. But he said, boys can help in and we can get it done. But I think that thing dragged on for a couple of years.
That's because we didn't have enough room for everybody upstairs, huh?
Yeah, that's right. So then we dig it out, and first you take it out in buckets full. And
First you knock out the foundation so you can put the buckets on. Didn't you?
Knock out the foundation.
No, a hole in the foundation along the side.
There was that one little, yeah, they did now make out a hole in that one side of the foundation. And we pack it out by buckets full. And I said, then how are you going to leave those dirt walls there? And he said, no, we'll put forms in and pour the cement down in and they'll put together. But, oh, that was bad. I hated that thing.
You hated it.
Oh, I hated it because it was taking your little boy doing, just working down there so hard. One night, they hadn't had a chance to play. We thought they'd been so tired we couldn't do anything. And it must have been about 9 o'clock at night, but it was summertime. And they were out playing, I guess, run, sheep, you run, or some darn thing. And you're running all over the neighborhood and just having fun. And the neighbors across the street just had a fit that you was making too much noise. And then we come to many big rocks, and come to one big rock that they finally had to dig a hole and bury it to get it out.
That was one that was almost from the floor of the where the floor was of the new
Basement floor.
the basement,
Now,
up almost to the 2x4 stringers that were underneath the floor. It was that big. It was huge.
it was awful.
And what did we have to do to get rid of it? We couldn't break it up.
No, they had to dig a hole.
We had to dig a hole and throw it and push it into it and cover it up.
Yeah.
Well, that was a bigger job than digging a basement.
Oh dear. Then, after you got the basement done, then there was a sewer to dig.
Oh, yeah, I'd forgotten that, the big deep hole.
And, I was afraid somebody would fall.
We weren't connected to a sewer before that?
No. Yes.
Or we
but
had to
not-
go deep enough to cover the basement?
Yes, we had to go deep enough for that.
Okay.
And so they had to dig that, and I guess out in the galley, that thing must have been awful deep. And two or three of the neighbors come and they said, couldn't be done. But it did. It all worked.
Well, I remember one night we were pouring cement in the forums late one night, and Chris Cornum yelled out of our window, "Hard, why don't you let those boys go to bed?"
Yeah, I never knew until just 2 or 3 months ago that Joe Cordon, they asked him to be one of your dad's pallbearers and he refused. I never knew that.
Why did you refuse?
He didn't feel like that he wanted to.
We had some good friends in that neighborhood, though.
Yeah.
That's a great friend.
Yeah.
Well, I always thought Joe Carter was friends to the kids at least.
Oh, yes, he was. He always was. I visited him a lot after that.
He didn't like the way Dad treated all his kids.
No, he didn't like that a bit.
Now, they didn't want to live next door, they didn't want to live across in the corner.
No, they lived next door.
They must have lived across in the corner. Across the street and down to the left, down towards
Oh,
Cullen.
you mean Cullen?
Collins, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Didn't think of their name.
Let's see, on the other side from Cordum's lived he worked for the railroad too.
And they had one boy, Don. What was their last name?
No, right next door to us on the other side.
Oh, Neely.
Neely's. And
Yeah.
then on the corner's the one you were thinking of.
No, the other side.
The other
of Gordon.
side, okay.
I can't remember Don.
Well, I thought Collins was on the other side of Cordum's.
They did later, but not
Okay.
at first. They lived over on the corner with Grandma Price.
And Cox's lives on down there too.
Yeah, Cox lived on down there.
Third house down there.
Yeah. No, one time, your dad came home from work, and boy, he said the kids were streaming out of the basement like their lives were in danger. Come to find out, Joanne had sent them all home. So she's a little stinker then.
We also had something else down the basement we used to work on. Tell us about that.
Oh, that rock. Oh, yes, there was this darn rock that stuck up about this far,
Where was it?
right by the coal room door.
Right at the bottom of the stairs, as you came
Yeah,
going downstairs on
right
the
there,
left.
the coal room door. And that had been left there from when that part of the basement was dug out in the first place. And so, he asked Frank, he promised Frank a bicycle if he could get that all chalked out by Christmas. That poor little kid come home and he'd work on that, he'd work on that, he'd work on that. He'd just pay the rest of it, but he never got his bicycle.
And you never finished it, 'cause I got to work on it a few times too.
Well, he almost finished it. I think it was worth it to have had one, but, oh
Did you
dear.
finish it?
I don't think so.
No, it never was finished. It's still sticking up. And
I think Dale got a few licks on it too.
it must have been one of those big niggerheads they call them, that, like, just like the one you burned.
Black volcanic rock. Hard.
More like flint or something.
Yeah.
Or granite, I think it was granite. It was tough. Anyway.
Well, I remember Dad used to leave the list for us to do on the clock.
Oh,
The what?
he'd leave a list and have it up in
Oh,
the
a
clock
list.
over the fireplace.
Right.
What he wanted to do when he came home. And the last letter Bud wrote to us before he came home out of the service, he said, well, Dad, I'll be home pretty soon, but he said, please don't have any lists in the clock.
No, you didn't, not really.
Not much detail.
Well, your dad was working with the union, the AFL union. And we were in Boise while he was doing some work there. And we were close to where Judith Davis Park was. And the kids played in there a lot, and we'd go out in boats and everything. One time, Joanne was being a baby, I guess, out there, and Dale pushed her out of the boat. Oh, she cried bloody murder. And it wasn't even deep, it didn't even come up to her knees. She thought she was drowning. Then we went to North Idaho, and she spent most of the time in Coeur d'Alene. And we stayed at this house that these people rented at Judge Elshai's house. And all these library books were still there in the library. And these people gave them, you had your breakfast, but we had to take.
Like a boarding house.
Yeah,
Mhm.
our rent a meal, but they had breakfast. But you kids spent every minute you could down on that beach and in that water. And one day, I missed Betty Lou, and I looked out, and she was dog paddling. I didn't think didn't know she could even swim. Clear out to where the boys were off the dock, out the way out there.